Headlines. I'm Nick Van Heest, a general reporter with the Plain Dealer, and if you're not familiar with tomorrow's headlines, it's basically a sneak peek at what will appear in the print edition of the paper tomorrow. You can also access our articles online at www.wabashplaindealer.com. Links to some of our online articles can also be found on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Well, leading off in tomorrow's paper comes an update on the ongoing saga between County Sheriff Bob Land and former Sheriff Reserve Walter Woods. Brought to you by general reporter Eric Seaman. And if you're not familiar with this saga, last week Land fired Woods because he said that he violated the county's work release program. But today, Woods stopped by the Plain Dealer office with a press release that stated that his termination was politically motivated, as Woods will challenge incumbent Land in the upcoming Republican primary election for sheriff. And Woods said that he did not overstep the bounds of his duty, and that his termination is completely unjustified. So we'll see what happens with that ongoing story. The next article is one I put together about the old jail building located at 78 West Market Street. The building has not been in use for 11 or 12 years and has a lot of issues. But today at the Wabash County Commissioners meeting, architect Terry Burnworth was on hand to give his recommendation that the building be demolished, as he thought it would be too expensive to restore. But Todd Zeiger of Indiana Landmarks was also at the meeting and objected to this recommendation. He requested commissioners give him a year to explore options and get the word out to see if anyone would be interested in restoring the building and with a possible use for it. So commissioners were happy to accept this request and see if they can save this historic building. Our next article on the front page comes again by Eric Seaman. It's about Sarah Chamberlain, a Urbana woman who has pled not guilty of 5 felony charges. Chamberlain was fired from her bookkeeper position with the county clerk's office last September. She is accused of stealing about $75,000 while she was employed at the clerk's office. Our final front page story is another one I put together, again from the commissioners meeting Monday morning. The commissioners officially approved the request to vacate land in Mount Vernon area, which is just east of Somerset and the highway. And last week, a couple residents nearby came before commissioners to request that they be able to take care of the overgrown alleys and roads. And the commissioners approved the concept at that meeting, but then they needed a chance for the county attorney, Steve Downs, to look through all the paperwork, but that has finally been given the go-ahead. As for sports, sports editor Justin Shockey brings an article about the Wabash Middle School swim team, which just kicked off their season with their first meet, and they have 7 more meets to come. So Justin got together with the coach and talked to him a little bit about his expectations for the season and how he thinks things will go. Another story is a recap of the Manchester University women's basketball team. They defeated Bluffton University in the conference semifinal, or in the conference opener rather. But then they lost to Transylvania in the semifinal, which ended their season. Going on from there, Manchester University softball team just opened their season this weekend. They split. They had a loss against Spalding, but then they defeated Center. And then finally in the sports section is a story about Manchester University's baseball team. It was a tale of 2 doubleheaders for the team. They lost a doubleheader to Manhattanville College of New York, but then they swept Staten Island. Well, this concludes tomorrow's headlines.